We are live. You hit mute. So a lot of people ask about product knowledge training. Definitely not my forte. Don't have much to say about the products actually. Know that they work. I can give people, other people's testimonies, but having never really done it or whatever, I'm not comfortable. So I normally turn this class over to Rick or Keith or someone like them. Rick has a PowerPoint presentation, and I'll let him take it over. Rick, take it away.
How we doing, guys? This is going to be our All Fluids Go Bad class. It's going to be a breakdown of the different.
For some reason, I can't hear you. Can you still hear me, Rick?
Can you hear me? I don't know. I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Say something.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So I'm not sure. Okay, keep going.
All right. So this is going to be a class, a breakdown of our all the different types of fluid exchanges that we have, the different services and the benefits of using those services. We're going to go over, the knowledge of the products themselves, warranty information about the products, and the best way to use them at your dealerships. So let's go ahead and get started here. Our first service that we're going to go over is our brake service. As you can see here, I've kind of highlighted the equipment, the brake machines themselves. The brake machine on the left is going to be our Pure Brake Basic. That's a single wheel brake machine. You can regulate the pressure back and forth depending on the models of vehicles that you're doing your services on. But it is a single wheel brake machine. We also have our Pure Brake 4-wheel exchange machine on the right side. That one you can actually pull fluid from all 4 calipers at the same time. It is a fantastic machine and probably the most utilized brake machine that we have to offer. Before we get into the products, though, I have added a couple of little videos here to show you the process of doing the service and the reasoning behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and kick that off.
Did you know that brake fluid can boil in your vehicle and that when it does, you can experience diminished braking performance or even failure? Here's why. Brake fluid continuously absorbs moisture from the atmosphere. Over time, this moisture contamination builds to a level that causes the boiling temperature of the fluid to drop. As this happens, vapor pockets can form when the pressure and temperature in the system increase during normal operation. The result can be reduced or delayed braking. The increased moisture can also lead to corrosion and deposit formation in the brake lines and master cylinder, causing premature wear and leaks. Because moisture absorption is continuous and typically unavoidable, many manufacturers recommend fluid replacement at regular intervals to avoid major damage and diminished braking performance. Problems include soft or spongy pedal feel and delayed stopping response, corrosion and premature wear of brake parts and components, leaks caused by corroded brake lines, and rust. Fortunately, there's an effective solution. It's a service to replace the brake fluid in your vehicle. An experienced technician can perform a complete fluid exchange service. By using a pressurized pulsating action during the exchange process, old contaminated fluid, air, and moisture are removed, while filling the system with new premium Mach DOT3 or DOT4 brake fluid. The exchange is performed by sealing the brake system, which prevents air and moisture from being introduced into the system during the service. This important feature of the service provides the peace of mind that comes with knowing your brakes will operate safely and consistently as they should. The benefits include removal of contaminants and unwanted moisture, helps prevent corrosion and premature wear, smoother, more responsive braking, and helps avoid costly repairs. Ask your service provider if your vehicle would benefit from a Mach brake fluid exchange service today.
All right. So as you guys just saw, every vehicle out there on the road is going to run into this situation. It's completely normal for vehicles and brake fluid to start absorbing moisture and creating problems within the brake systems themselves, which is why it's necessary to change your brake fluid at regular intervals as a preventative maintenance procedure. These machines make it very easy for you to do. A lot of, older technicians used to have to bleed it and pump the brakes and this and that. With this machine, as you saw in the video, it's actually a pressurized service that starts from the master cylinder, and it presses new fluid into the system and forces all the old fluid contaminants and any air in the system out the calipers all collectively throughout the process. So it's definitely a phenomenal service, and we found a way to make it very timely, about 15, 20 minutes tops to knock the service out. So it's definitely a good service that we need to get done. As you saw there, we have brake fluid in .3 and .4. One of the number one questions asked is, why use mock brake fluid versus, any of the other competitors or OE products out there. And my response to that would be, not only does our brake fluid exceed OE standards, but it also comes with a value add of a warranty. As you see here, we have the 32 ounce and a 53 ounce option. And we have that in .3 and .4. So there's not a vehicle out there right now that we can't provide a brake fluid product for and turn around and add a warranty on top of it, which is where the value add's coming in. I put a highlight sheet here together. So if you look down here on the left-hand side, coverage for a brake fluid exchange when you're using our products is 30,000 miles. That's a lot of miles on coverage for a brake system, when typically your brake components go out after 336 bumper to bumper coverage. So that, anytime you do a brake fluid exchange, as you see here, $4,000 of coverage before 50,000 miles and $2,000 of coverage before 100,000 miles. I mean, guys, we should be starting brake fluid exchanges, 40, 45,000 miles at the latest. A lot of the manufacturers are doing them now around 20,000 miles. So if you're starting them out before 50, I mean, there's not a component on a brake system that we offer that's that $4,000 is not gonna cover. As you see here, retail to the customer is a very, very affordable service. Typically retails between $109 and $129.95. Great service, doesn't take long, can be done in your quick lane. All the OEs out there can benefit from it. So get the knowledge out there and let's get some brake services sold. The next service that we're going to talk about is cooling. Same as the other video. I've highlighted our equipment here. You have your cooling machine on the left. That's actually going to be our inline service, which is going to tie in directly to the radiator components themselves. And we also have recently developed a 2-tube version of our machine, which can evac directly out of the reservoir itself, which, depending on the type of radiator system that's being serviced, definitely, you'll have to pick and choose depending on what service you're trying to provide. But we have both options available for you. So let's go ahead and run this video and listen to the benefits of doing cooling services.
Cooling system failure is one of the leading causes vehicles are left stranded on the highway. Extreme heat and severe driving conditions deplete the protection properties in coolant, allowing rust, scale, and corrosion to build up in the tiny passages in the radiator, blocking the flow of coolant, causing the engine to overheat. Possible problems include premature wear on the water pump, restricted coolant flow, overheating, and cooling system component failure. A cooling system cleaner is circulated throughout the system, encapsulating and removing harmful deposits, helping to restore proper flow in the radiator. An experienced technician will then perform a mock complete cooling system service, removing old contaminated coolant and harmful deposits from the system and replacing it with a new manufacturer recommended coolant. A fluid conditioner and anti-corrosion inhibitors are added to fortify the system against rust, corrosion, and premature pump wear, followed by a routine inspection of system hoses, connections, and radiator. Benefits include improved circulation, prevention of overheating and minor leaks, lubrication of internal system components. Ask your service provider if your vehicle would benefit from a mock cooling system fluid exchange service today.
So just like the lady said in the video, the number one cause of breakdown in the roads today is vehicles overheating. So that should be your only answer on why you need to get coolant services done on regular intervals, guys. Coolant is just like oil or the other fluids. It needs to be changed. It does break down over time, and it becomes very costly, almost catastrophic costly, depending on what happens to the vehicle based off the repair. So let's go over some products that we have to offer and things we can offer our customers to help them out here. So let's start with the fast flush. Just like the lady said in the video, this fast flush is actually going to go into the system with the old coolant and be ran for a bit of time and let the engine get hot. And what it's going to do is it's going to break down all that old rust and contaminants in the system and get the system ready to be clean so that when you introduce new coolant to the system, you're going to have a clean situation inside. So definitely, first part, fast flush, got to get that part in the system. Once you get that going, we're going to go ahead and do a complete coolant system exchange. We're going to add OE coolant to the car. So with our coolant services, you're not using our coolant, you're using our additives. So you'll use an OE coolant or, whatever coolant comes with where you're doing your services at. But when you're doing the service here, we're going to provide the cool off during the service. That's going to go into the system and help prevent future problems down the road. This is like a major conditioner to your coolant itself. So once the new coolant gets introduced, this is going to amplify all of the components inside the coolant itself and extend the life of that coolant and make it better for your vehicle. We also have this cooling system multi-treatment. This is another additive that we have that's going to help protect your cooling system in many different ways. It keeps the corrosion out. It's going to keep, lubricate your pumps and your seals inside the engine and the radiator and hoses and stuff. All of this is going to help your vehicle run better and prevent costly repairs down the road. Another coolant product that we offer is our coolant sealer. This is actually as you say, it's a seal. As I said, it's a sealer. It can help prevent or help seal up any small leaks, cracks, or holes in your radiator. It can also, seal up cracks in the blocks and the head gasket itself. And the good thing I like to talk about with this is it is compatible with all different types of coolant. So if you run into a situation where you've got a minor leak, a minor head gasket seepage, and you're losing a little bit of coolant or you're losing a little bit of pressure, you can add this product into the system and it will most likely resolve those issues for you on a temporary basis. So let's go over the benefits of doing coolant services and using our products. So just like with our brake fluid, coolant comes with a 30,000 mile, coolant fluid exchanges come with a 30,000 mile warranty. Guys, that's, again, you can't get over that. There's no time restraint on the 30,000 miles. Once you do your first service inside of our interval and you get started on this program, that 30,000 miles can take, 1 year or 5 years to the customer. And it's going to continue the same amount of coverage on whatever tier they fall in for the entire period. So, if you get a coolant fluid exchange done at, 70,000 miles, which, in most circumstances is a bit late, but you can still get in the program and get $2,000 worth of coverage. So $2,000 worth of coverage, while it may not recover an engine failure or something along those lines, if your radiator went out or the other components in your cooling system went out that are covered under our coolant warranty, it's going to pretty much cover 100% of that repair to the customer. So we've got to get this information out there and we've got to get some coolant services out. Let's move on to our differential service here. These are pretty standard machines. It's out with the old, in with the new. They're very easy to operate. We do have the Smart Tech machines. We have one with the remote that can be done, via remote, and one without. They both operate completely the same. It just depends on, the benefit to the client, whether he would prefer a remote or not a remote. But these are both very solid machines and very easy to use machines.
Differentials work in conjunction with the transmission to deliver power to your vehicle's axles. They compensate for the difference in wheel speed while turning. Using a sequence of gears, the differential can direct torque to individual wheels, enabling better control of your vehicle. The gear oil inside the differential lubricates and transfers away heat, helping to protect the internal components. Extreme temperatures and severe driving conditions like towing and off-roading can quickly deplete the fluid, causing deposits, premature wear, gear noise, and even slippage. Regular maintenance and replacement of old fluid is recommended to avoid premature wear and costly repairs. Problems may include clunking sound when the vehicle starts to move, whining or howling at various speeds, rumbling or whirring noises at high or low speeds. An experienced technician will extract the old, depleted gear oil from the differential case using a specialized fluid exchanger. After removal, Mach's premium synthetic gear oil is added to the differential to provide superior performance and protection. Depending on the type of driveline your vehicle has, either Mach Extreme Pressure Lubricant Additive or Limited Slip Concentrate Additive may be added to the system to maintain a smooth, quiet operation and provide maximum protection to internal components. A Mach differential service helps protect against premature wear, reduce gear noise for quieter operation, remove contaminants like sludge and unwanted debris, reduce slippage and chatters. Ask your service provider if your vehicle would benefit from a Mach differential fluid exchange service today.
All right. Sounds pretty repetitive. So what is our benefit here? Guys, it's real common with the rest of our services. We provide products to customers that need them. We push preventative maintenance. So all of the type of products that you're going to see here in the driveline are all, depending on what manufacturers you're at, we're going to have a product to match that need. As driveline services get done, the key here is not only to prevent failure long-term and costly repairs to the customer, but it's also to give them a solid warranty when they're offering our services. So as you saw in the video, if you got customers out there, four-wheel drive customers, even two-wheel drive customers that may be towing, any type of heavy load on their truck at all, guys, they need to be doing these services regularly. So get with your local Mach rep and make sure, and let's get our proper product in your store so that we can offer it. I'm gonna go over what the options available to you guys. As you see here, we have a gear guard SAE 75W90. We have a couple of different options to offer as far as sizes and quantities and, to fit the needs of the shop. So we do sell it in the quart and we also sell it in the keg. Again, both are identical. It's just a matter of what fluid or what, types you're looking to purchase for your store and to match your needs. This is going to be kind of repetitive, so I'm going to go through it kind of smooth. But so we do have 7590. As you see here, is compatible with 7585, 80W90, or SAE90. So again, anything you need, we got it. We also have our 75140, very similar to same as the other one. We have a quart option and a keg option. Whatever fits your needs at the store the best is the way we'll go. These two products get asked quite often about limited slip. So these two standard gear guards do not have limited slip in them. So we do offer a limited slip additive available to you. This is going to fortify the gears and help any shutter or anything inside of a limited slip differential. So if that's needed and you do have a vehicle that requires it, we have it available to you. Another additive that we also offer out there to a lot of the heavy load type vehicles and vehicles using towing is extreme pressure lubricant. This gets added in with the new gear oil, and it's going to smooth out shifting, reduce any kind of noise or chatter inside the blocks, and help condition all of those gear components inside of that differential to keep costly repairs down long term. For those customers that just don't want to mess with our limited slip additive and just kind of want to have it preloaded, we do offer that as well. We have what we call Gear Guard Plus. It's $75.90 with the limited slip already in the bottle. So for those of y'all that don't know, vehicles that require limited slip additive, you have to have it in there. But vehicles that do not require it can still use it. So if you were in a situation where you just didn't want to worry about it, you could go this route and it would cover both types of vehicles regardless of the situation. So we have that as options available. And we also have that in $75.90 and $75.140, which is again compatible with all of your different gear oils out there that you're going to need. 4x4s, they need a fluid. Ultra Shift is our transfer case fluid. Just like any other OE fluid out there, this is going to be equal to or exceed those standards. So, for those that need transfer case fluid, Ultra Shift's available and we have it readily going. I'm going to go over the benefits real quick. Just like with our other services, guys, 30,000 miles, you can't beat it. You do a driveline service with us at 45,000 miles, you have till 75,000 miles worth of coverage for up to $4,000, guys. I don't know of a differential out there that can't be fixed for $4,000. And again, even if you get it started in tier 2 and you get the $2,000 worth of coverage, that's not only going to pay for most of it, but it most likely will pay for the majority of the repair and of a customer's, keep the customer having that expense. So definitely need to be talking about it. We need to be getting our products out there and offered to our customers. Depending on the vehicles, these things, 2-wheel drives, $99.95 to $109.95. If you have a 4-wheel drive, it typically retails between $189 and $219. Very common. Definitely need to start getting them out there going. The next product we're going to talk about here is going to be our power steering service, guys. I want to highlight real quick before we get started. Power steering fluid exchanges are strictly for old vehicles that do not have electric power steering. I know that there's a little bit been questions about the fluid, and yes, there is a fluid inside of an electric power steering system, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to kind of highlight that this specific fluid exchange is for vehicles that have non-electric steering, and we'll go over that. We have 2 different types of machines available to you. It's going to be our power steering machine on the left. This is just like with our differential machine, it has a remote access. It's a suck old fluid out, put new fluid in process, very simple to do. Shouldn't take no more than about 10 or 15 minutes to knock this out. And we also have our backpack version, which is it's identical process, just in a smaller box. Again, it's all about fitting the needs of the shop. So if you don't have room for a big, roll around cart, we do have a backpack or a toolbox version for you to reduce some of that space. So I'm going to roll this video and we'll listen to some benefits here.
Today's power steering systems have become so reliable that it's easy to forget that over time, the power steering fluid breaks down and requires regular maintenance. Like any other oil, power steering fluid degrades due to extreme heat, pressure, and contamination. When exposed to heat and extreme pressure, fluid additives and detergents lose their ability to protect and lubricate the system. Internal components can become coated with sludge and be damaged by metal particles and moisture. This condition can lead to annoying squeals, premature wear, leaks, and erratic steering. Ignoring these problems may lead to mechanical failure and costly repairs. Problems include whining or squealing after a cold start, poor handling and sluggish or choppy steering, leaks in the lines and connections. An experienced technician using a specially designed fluid exchanger will extract old fluid and deposits from the power steering rack, pump, lines, and reservoir. Simultaneously, high-quality mock power steering fluid is pumped into the system to restore lubrication and help extend component life. To complete the service, a mock power steering supplement is added to fortify the new fluid, condition seals, and help reduce wear on internal components. A mock power steering service will give you enhanced resistance to breakdown due to extreme heat, shearing, and system pressure. Seals and lines are conditioned to prevent cracks and leaks. It helps extend system life by reducing wear on internal components and helps reduce squeals and chatter due to power steering fluid foaming. Ask your service provider if your vehicle would benefit from a mock power steering fluid exchange service today.
All right. So power steering, guys, it's no different than coolant, differential fluid, your standard oil change or any other fluids in your car. Over time, that fluid's going to break down. It's going to heat up. It's going to create issues in the system if it's not changed out properly at proper intervals. So if you have customers out there that have power steering needs, get this information out there to them. I'm going to go over our products a little bit. We have, just like with differential, and you'll see in trans, doesn't matter what type of vehicle that you need fluid for, we're going to have a fluid to match that vehicle. We're going to start off here with our conditioner itself. So this conditioner is going to go in during the service, or once the service is completed, into the new fluid. And just like with our other conditioners, guys, this is going to just completely, it's like air conditioner, man. It's going to make that fluid super silky, super smooth. It's going to lubricate those seals and reduce any type of chatter or issues in the system moving forward. Definitely needs to be put in when you're doing services to the new fluid. All right, this is our tech grade power steering, guys. It's compatible with multiple different OEs. As you see there, it's Honda, Acura, Ford, GM, Chrysler. A lot of vehicles out there using tech grade power steering, guys. So if they need it, we've got it. We've also got red power steering. There is some specific manufacturers that use this fluid, more specific vehicles, because as you see there, Ford and GM and Chrysler do have some vehicles that have red power steering fluid. So if they do need that, we have it available as well. Some of our high performance top end, Euroline vehicles, as you see here, Rolls-Royce, BMW, Jaguar, Volvos, Porsches, Mercedes, some of the high-end Dodges, if they have this type of fluid, we've got it, guys. It comes in a kit, so be ready for it. We talked a little bit about it earlier, electric power steering, guys. So there is fluid in an electric power steering system, okay? So you not hear about it commonly, but if a service is done or if they're happening to repair a part of an electric power steering service, there is fluid added to that system. We do have a fluid available to them at a very affordable cost if they choose to go that route. And it does fit with all of the standard electric systems that are on the market today. Along, just like with the other services, our service does come with a 30,000-mile warranty. People ask all the time, why is it necessary to use your fluid over mine? And my answer is always going to be because mine comes with a warranty and yours does not. $4,000 coverage before 50 and $2,000 coverage before 100. Very affordable service, guys. Typically takes 10 to 15 minutes. Retails between 119 and 129. Get them out there, guys. We got to talk about these services to our customers and let them know the benefits. Transmission services, guys. This is this is actually the last one we're going to go over, but it's one of the heaviest. So I'm going to run this video and we're going to get into details about this.
Did you know that most automatic transmission failures are due to infrequent or incomplete transmission services? This leads to depleted fluid and deposits due to overheating. Stop-and-go driving, extreme temperatures, and severe driving conditions also contribute to transmission fluid breakdown. As automatic transmission fluid, or ATF, degrades, it loses its protective qualities and allows harmful deposits to form. This type of fluid breakdown can accelerate wear on internal components and lead to poor shifting, slippage, and reduced vehicle performance. Unfortunately, traditional service methods rely on a simple drain and refill process. That leaves a large percentage of old, depleted fluid in the system after the service, contaminating the new fluid being added to the transmission. Transmission problems include poor or hard shifting, slipping or chattering of gears while accelerating, appearance of reddish fluid in your driveway or under the vehicle while parked. An experienced technician will circulate ATF cleaner through the system to dissolve and suspend deposits in the transmission, cooler, and torque converter for easy removal. The old fluid and deposits are then extracted from the entire transmission system. Simultaneously, new ATF is added to the system, and a mock ATF supplement is installed to fortify the new fluid against premature breakdown and oxidation, as well as condition the seals for optimal shifting performance. Some of the benefits of a mock fluid exchange service are smoother shifting, less chatter, and more complete removal of deposits and old fluid. Ask your service provider if your vehicle would benefit from a mock transmission fluid exchange service today.
All right. So the highlight of this, a lot of times we run into situations, guys, where transmission fluid has been either infrequently changed or not properly changed, which is why it's, benefit is to use our machines and do the services on a regular basis. Transmissions is behind the engine, one of the most costly repairs that a customer is going to have to ever make on their vehicle. Even if it's a small repair, it's a very costly repair to anything involving a transmission. So why is this important? Just like changing your oil, nobody wants to replace an engine and nobody wants to replace a transmission. We have the products available to not only prevent this from happening long period of time, but again, just like our other services, if something were to happen, we back our products with a 30,000 mile warranty. I'm going to go over our additives in a little bit, and then I'll go over our fluids available to you. So this is our ATF supplement, guys. Just like with our other services, this is a conditioner that's going to go in with the new fluid to help super condition all the internal components on a transmission. For y'all that need to know, transmissions have a ton of moving parts inside, and when you just do a draining fill, that fluid, that old gummy fluid, gets caught up inside the gears and the torque converter. It's not properly cleaned out. So when you do a transmission fluid exchange, an actual full size or full service, that service is going to get that old fluid out of there. So when you put new fluid in there, guys, the best thing you want to do is recondition all of those gears and seals and components inside that transmission, and this is what this product's going to do. Prior to getting the old fluid out, just like the lady said on the video, we're going to add a cleaner into that system. So very similar to coolant, we're going to put a cleaner inside the system that's going to break down all that old gum and deposits build up around those gears, so that when we do clean that system out, all of that old tarnished fluid is going to be out of the system and not be left behind. We also have a conditioner for CVT vehicles. For those of you that service CVT or dealerships that have CVT vehicles, Nissans and type, we do also offer it for CVTs. CVT fluid, guys, let's go over our fluid a little bit. So just like with power steering, we have a fluid for all your different makes and models and different types of transmissions that are going to be out there for you guys to service. This is a vehicle specific. So if you have vehicles that need CVT fluid, here it is, guys. We offer it. It's compatible with all the OEs out there that require it. So if you have any customers that are questioning it or need to know that we have it, let them know we do. We got it. HP fluid. This was introduced to the market a few years ago due to the need of some of the vehicles requiring it, just like with CVT. This fluid's offered when needed. DCT fluid, guys, very uncommon fluid, but for the manufacturers out there that require it, some of the high-end vehicles, if they do need it, we also have it. This is going to be one of our most commonly sold products here. This is going to be our multi-vehicle synthetic ATF. It's going to almost across the board cover, 75% of the types of OEs that you guys are using. It's the most commonly sold product. It comes in gallons, 3 gallons, and 55-gallon options for those that need it. So, be looking for this product out there because this is going to be the most commonly used ATF that we offer. We also have LV fluid, guys. There's kind of it's becoming a more and more needed out there across the board. Vehicles are requiring LV fluid. So if that becomes an issue, we have it available. Synthetic blue. This is for more of the some of the foreign-made cars. Not a very common sold ATF, but again, we have it available to you if needed in the circumstances that you need it. And then right here, this is going to be a red synthetic ATF, just like with the blue and the other types, guys. It's more about what the vehicle needs. So just get into your stores, find out what fluid types they're using, and then come back and cross-reference it and figure out which fluids they're needed, but we got them all for them. So let's talk a little bit about transmission, and I'll get into detail about a little bit of a difference on the warranty coverage when doing transmission services. So just like with the other services, it does come with a 30,000-mile warranty. But as you see here, when both fluid and kit are used, you'll get max coverage, okay? So what that means is in order to get $4,000 before 50 and $2,000 before 100, you must use our kit and our transmission fluid, okay? If you only use the kit, that coverage is gonna be reduced by 50%. I want you guys to be aware of that. It's definitely something that was a concern, years ago when we weren't identifying these properly to the customer. They were assuming that they had $4,000 and they were only purchasing a kit. That is not the case. So highly recommend that you guys pay attention to that. If you're only selling 1941 or 40, whatever you're using in your 25, whatever you're using in your stores, that's fine. But just remember that the coverage does get reduced by 50% if you're not using both our kit and our fluid. This process on most vehicles takes about 25 to 30 minutes. Can retail typically between $189.95 and $299.95. And it should, in my opinion, should be offered no later than 60,000 miles or 5 years. I would try to hit it around that 50,000 mile mark so that the customer can benefit. If you hit it at 49,000, they're going to get that max $4,000 in coverage. While that may not, replace an entire transmission if needed, it's going to take a majority of the repair off the customer if something were to happen long-term to their transmission. If you get it started in tier 2 and they only have $2,000 in coverage, that's most likely not going to cover most of the repair and going to leave an out-of-pocket expense to the customer that's pretty high. Well, guys, that's the rundown on our fluid exchanges. I pretty much covered everything we have to offer as far as, the mainline services. Hopefully you guys can join us in our next class. We're going to go over fuel. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Mitch?
Well, that's good, man. Smack the Gas will be up next, and we'll see y'all then.